The Duke 200 was the first KTM to reach India. With its 2012 launch, it redefined the definition of affordable performance. Even after all these years, the Duke 200 still remains one of the best in its segment. Sajal has clocked over 50,000 kilometers on his Duke 200 and has taken it on tour quite a bit. The Duke is also his daily ride companion for the city commute. Hi Sajal, it's nice to have you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I feel good to be here.
Well, you are one of the first owners of Duke 200. How has the experience been so far and what made you choose Duke?
When I was considering an upgrade from my Apache 150, I had two motorcycles in the consideration set. That was the Yamaha R15 and the Honda CBR 250R. Honda CBR 250R is a good motorcycle, but it was slightly outside my budget at that point. And whereas R15 was slightly underpowered and expensive. So I was looking at a motorcycle which would fit my budget, but it's an upgrade to my Apache, existing Apache. And this motorcycle was new in the market at that time. And it was a little bit of risk buying this motorcycle, but after I have bought this, it has been a different experience altogether. The kind of power it makes in the lower revs makes it much faster than both these motorcycles. And that is why I have christened it the Little Monster. Because this motorcycle is really fun to ride in the city. And that has been my overall experience of 4.5 years now and over 50,000 kilometers with a lot of long rides and city commutes thrown in. This has been a perfect companion in my life. Like, I would probably keep it forever if I have to.
Well, the KTMs are known for its lightweight machines and the standards of performance and handling. How has your experience been in this regard?
Yes, KTMs are known for their lightweight machines. When KTM started selling their motorcycles, this was the first motorcycle in India. And they're mostly known for their adventure motorcycles and off-road motorcycles, and this is none of those. This is a simple street fighter which was made for India and made in India. But the fun factor of this motorcycle, as I told in the first answer itself, that it is slightly shorter in wheelbase and slightly taller motorcycle, which makes it a very agile, fun motorcycle. And when you take it through the twisties, it's like much more fun. You can actually lean this motorcycle and feel confident on it. This motorcycle, when it comes to its engine performance, with 25 bhp of power, it is like for a 200 motorcycle, especially 4.5 years ago, a 200 motorcycle making 25 bhp was a big thing. And this motorcycle, when it comes to its braking, they again are equipped with disc brakes on both the ends, and that makes it simply one of the best overall package to have. In the city, yes, it's very agile, very fun to ride. On the highways, it is slightly slow compared to today's modern motorcycles, but as soon as you take it to the twisties, you can simply leave the competition behind.
Well, let's talk about maintenance now. What are the running and service costs of Duke 200 and are the spare parts easily available?
The running of this motorcycle it's not very expensive to run. I get a mileage of approximately 30 to 35 kilometers a liter, and that is approximately the same mileage that I get in the highways as well. That is mainly because of my riding style. But when it comes to the spare parts, it's easily available and it's available across the country. So when I'm touring, I don't have, at the back of my head, I don't have the tension that I will be missing out on something, or if something goes wrong, what will I do with my motorcycle? So the service station, the backup is very good by KTM. The running part is perfect. There are simple things like the chain slack, which I need to keep checking once every 15 to 20 days. And it takes me a little bit, I have to spare a little bit of time, but that's like 100 rupees to 200 rupees is what it costs across any of the service station that I visit. They fix the chain, spray lube, and other things like topping up the coolant and maybe a little bit of topping up of the engine oil. Overall, yes, it's a not very expensive motorcycle to maintain, but yes, it's a little lower on the mileage.
Well, finally, do you suggest any changes or modifications to make this bike better?
There are some modifications that I have done to the motorcycle. It has this handlebar from the KTM 390, which has this bar and weights. What these weights do is they reduce the vibration that comes from the engine to your arm, and they also have the softer grips. And the combination of the softer grip and the handlebar basically reduces the overall vibration. It simply makes the riding experience fun. The other changes are the covers that I put on the suspension. They are actually part of the newer model. Since this bike is the first version, it did not have these covers, and it had a different radiator fan as well. This radiator fan comes from the newer version, I think from the 2014 or the 15 Dukes. This is more, it is a covered fan, and it does not clog so easily with dust and water as it used to with the previous fan. Eventually does is it cools the engine faster and keeps it running better in the city. So these are some of the functional modifications that I have done to the motorcycle. I have also added this knuckle guard and the fairing. The fairing was basically only for aesthetics. It comes from the KTM Power Part catalog. I added it as an aesthetic value, but it actually adds value while you are touring. It actually helps. And same thing is with this. It's actually used to divert air that hits directly on your hand when you're touring. And since I keep traveling to hill stations and it gets really cold, this actually deflects all the cold air from my hand, and it keeps me slightly little bit warmer. The other major modification, or I could say is a change, is the tires. I changed from what comes stock as a MRF FZ tires. They are more flat profile tires. These tires are more round profile, which makes it much more fun to ride in the twisties. It has more grip when the bike is leaned over, and that makes it much more safer, and it inspires more confidence while riding in the twisties.
Well, Sachal, it was great to have you here. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for calling me here. It was great to share my experience of owning this bike, and I hope it helps your prospective buyers and people who are looking for this bike currently.
Well guys, that's what Duke 200 is all about. We hope you like this video. Please share your comments and questions below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.